So you want to make a move in Denver, you want to buy a house, but you don't want to sell your current one first. We're going to show you 3 ways you can structure your financing so you can buy before you sell. Hi, Joe Phillips here with Focus Real Estate and Central Park Scoop. Back today with one of our go-to lenders, Peyton Fullerton with Fairway Mortgage. And as I mentioned in the intro, we're trying to talk about 3 ways to structure your financing so you can go purchase the next home without having to first sell your existing home. A lot of our clients that are trying to make a move, they want to move, they built up some really nice equity in their current home, but they just don't quite know how to make the move. They're worried if they sell their home really fast, which happens a lot in this market, they might not find that next one too quick, and then they're stuck having to go rent somewhere. Maybe they have a few kids or something, that's a really big pain, they want to avoid it. So how do they make that one simple move? So talk us through option number 1. How do people do this?
Sure. So I would say option number 1 would be to consider a bridge loan. A bridge loan is like a second mortgage on your existing home. So let's say you've got this home over here that you own, called your departing residence, really. You already probably have a first mortgage on that, so this would just go behind that first mortgage as a second mortgage, and the proceeds of that loan would be used to make the down payment on the new purchase. And then when this home sells, after you've moved into your new home, the first and the new second mortgage, otherwise known as a bridge loan, would be paid out of the proceeds of that sale.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense to me. I think one challenge, one key point is that people need to be able to qualify for the new mortgage, and they have to qualify for this second mortgage on their current home, right? And they have to show the ability to carry both of those debts.
Correct. Yep, we're always looking at the debt to income ratio, so the new bridge loan in addition to the first mortgage would be considered in the total debt to income ratio used to qualify. But as long as you qualify with the payments, you're good to go.
Perfect. I think, and we'll go through the other 2 here in a second, but I think as people get started and they're thinking about this, I would just pull in one of the mortgage professionals, show them kind of your whole picture, and let them show you all the options instead of trying to figure out in your own mind how this works. Rely on them. They'll give you the roadmap. And maybe there's a few things you need to do to get all your ducks in a row, but at least you can start working towards that path. So that's option number 1. Let's jump into option number 2. What else can people do to structure it to make one simple move?
We see clients oftentimes take a loan on their 401k. So borrowing against your own asset is something that could be of benefit to you for many reasons. A lot of times the interest rates that are available when you're borrowing against your 401k might be a little lower than you would actually see right now on a mortgage anyway. And you are not actually pulling a disbursement, so you wouldn't receive the penalty if you're before retirement age. And because you're borrowing against your own asset, we would not have to count the payment in your debt to income ratios. So for somebody who might be a little tight in terms of qualifying with those payments, that can help smooth it along for them.
Could people potentially even do a combination? Could they say, I have this much equity in my house, so I'm going to get this bridge loan up to here, but I still need $50,000, and maybe pull that from the retirement?
Yes,
Kind of
absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Are they borrowing from their retirement fund or through some other lender that's securing the loan with their retirement fund?
So it's a loan from their retirement fund.
Okay.
And it actually, typically the payments will come out of your paycheck. And you can arrange, typically, it depends on your 401k. You would want to look into the terms of your own 401k. But typically there's options as far as like, do you want to pay it back in a shorter or longer run?
Okay.
So
Great. And I personally, I would just want to pay it back as quick as possible.
Sure.
So a lot of times it's just a short-term thing. And they don't have to feel like they're borrowing against it long.
yes, or when the property sells, I believe
Yeah.
you can take it in many cases. Again, it depends on your 401k, but I believe you can take, if you're making a one lump sum payment, then you can do that right away as well.
Perfect. Okay, that's option number 2. Let's chat about option number 3. And I don't think this one will be for everybody, but I'm glad you brought it up because it's just an interesting thing that maybe people haven't thought of. So what's option 3?
Option number 3 would be if you have any idea of keeping your property as a rental, so converting your existing primary residence to a rental when you move out. In most cases, we can take a lease agreement and use 75% of that monthly rent amount to offset the mortgage payment on the departing residence, which would help you qualify in terms of your debt to income ratios.
So clearly you can't really have like a rental history because you've been living there as your primary residence. So it's okay if you just have a signed lease, but you haven't started it yet?
Correct. So the rules are that the new lease must commence within 30 days of closing. So it's pretty cool because it doesn't mean you have to be in a rush to move out. You close on your purchase, you move out, and then as long as your renter moves in within 30 days of closing, you're good to go. You just have to have the signed lease and a security deposit having cleared your account prior to closing.
Cool. I think that's a great third option. It's not for everybody, but I mean, we get to see a lot of people's financials, and that's the way people have built a lot of wealth. There's kind of just continuing to hang on to their previous primary residence, convert those into rentals, and all of a sudden you have this little rental income stream. So,
right?
Yeah. All right, so those are 3 options, 3 ways that you can go buy the next house without having to sell your current one first. Again, I would highly recommend you just reach out to Peyton early in the process. We're going to put all of her contact information in the description. Go through all of it with her, see what your options are, and obviously we'd love to help you make the move. Thanks for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.